Hello, my name is Marcel Robillard, President and CEO of Puma Exploration, junior mining exploration company based and explore New Brunswick for high-grade gold deposit located at surface.
Marcel, nice to see you again. You've been busy off drilling, like all good exploration geologists. I think the last time I spoke to you, there were forest fires, and I can't remember whether we did an interview or we just spoke at offline, so to speak. But you've put out some good results. Can you bring me and the market up to date with your activities over the last few months, please?
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Marlon, first to be asked to join your show. So yes, Puma Exploration has been active as usual during the summertime. We've been pretty happy because we didn't get fire in that area. So in fact, we had a lot more rain, so which is not too good for the geologists on site, but for us it was really great to be able to continue working. So this summer, what we've done, following that 10,000 meters of drilling done last year, where we did systematic drilling to try to identify some high-grade gold shoot over the course of the drilling program. This year was mainly to test those interpretation of potential high-grade shoot. So what we've done is 3,500 meters of drilling, and the mainly objective was to proving up continuity of the gold mineralization, also proving up the depth extension of the mineralization, because so far everything was found within the first 50 meters from surface, and also within the summertime we had to proving up also the lateral extension over 4 kilometers. So far everything has been successful, and as you said a bit earlier, we get some really early stage great gold result, and there's more to come. So was that the program? Yes.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. So this is all on the Williams Brook project.
Yes.
And within that, what you defined last year in terms of your targets was the Lynx Zone.
Exactly. And that's what we drill again this summer.
So how many holes have gone in? Is it 18 holes?
24 holes done, and there are 6 more to come to release result on those.
Okay, and when you say there's more good stuff to come, that's because you've seen the core and it looks like the stuff you found.
Exactly. So visually, all the drilling intercept really nice quartz stockwork, quartz veinlet, and it's within the whole quartz system that the goal is. So visually, we get summit. And also, we did 24 holes, but imagine we get 12 holes with visible gold in it. So when you're looking for gold and you see the gold, that's pretty exciting. So we've been successful on drilling that new zone at depth, showing gold visualization in it.
Okay, great. How good were your models? Because these things are always structurally controlled.
Yes.
Yeah. How much have you changed, or how much of your interpretation of the model evolved over the 3 or 4 months that you've been drilling?
Basically, to be honest with you, this is the first time in my life of geologists that we do not have to change the model, because the first few, that's funny, because this is still interpretation. So you try. The first few hole was to relocate the contact zone. The furball zone is really the contact between the rhyolite and the sediment. But then, because it's that contact with the foliation, we have a really nice 45-degree, like a shallow deeping zone, and we just drill it, and boom, boom, boom. Every time we drill that zone, we get quartz in it. But for sure, as there's gold nugget, there's also free gold. Not every hole get very high grade zone, but the system is there. But from those holes, we've been really successful. So every time we target the zone 45 degree, so which is good because we don't have to drill really, really deeper to show the continuity, because at 45 degrees, you can drill and you don't have to always drill like very deep to intercept the zone. So to be honest, Merlin, we cannot be more happy. So now the assays will be back within maybe a few weeks. We're going to send that back to the Terran Geoscience, which is the external consultant that they redo the model themselves. And then we're going to just drill those very high-grade shoot that we have been able to confirm within that drilling program.
Okay, just going to back you up again. In your presentation, you talk about drilling 3,500 meters,
yes,
but you also talk about 6,000 meters,
yes,
as the plan for the year. Could you explain the difference there, please?
Yes, this is exactly what we've done. Basically, we're supposed to do only like 6,000 meters in 2-3 phase. But because we were successful, we did the first 3,500, and the next 2,500, we were waiting to get the assays back. Because as is gold, you never knows if gold is really there on result. And sometimes, because you know the market is pretty tough, raising money is pretty tough, so we want to make sure those all are the best one to be drilled. So the next 2,500 will be drilled just after the assay. So probably we'll go back drilling on December, like first week of December, a few holes before Christmas, and then coming back after the break. So, but the next drilling will be to test the lateral extension at surface towards the Tiger Zone. So because the summertime we strip a new zone, the Tiger, so a cat again, you know, like Lynx, Cougar, Jaguar, Pantera. Now it's Tiger. Tiger is similar. So I feel the same as it was back in 2021 when we discovered Lynx. Very nice quartz vein, nice continuity. So the goal first is to start drilling the Tiger Zone, kind of a scout drilling, and then coming back below the Lynx Zone to test those HighGrade shows. So we should start back, I would say, the first week of December. Few holes to give me a nice Christmas gift to my shareholder, and coming back after in the January.
Where is Tiger relative to Lynx?
It's a long strike, only 400 meters away. Towards, you know, we have the zone 40, we have also the far east zone. So this is the same belt. This is the same contact between rhyolite and sediment, but just northeast. So a long strike with the deposit. So we drill 750 meters the Lynx Zone. 400 meters further, we discovered the Tiger Zone. And this is what we're going to do, similar to what we drilled at the first drilling at Lynx in 2021. Few holes. Make sure the contact is there. Finger crossed, we're going to have gold as well, because contact is great, but we want to have gold. And then follow up underneath the Lynx and hoping that the gold will come pretty nicely as we just got at the Lynx.
Is the quartz veining and the quartz stockwork sub-parallel with the contact? I mean, or is it cross-cutting the contact?
There's two of them. So this is why we do not have any other option than drill different angle, because there's vein parallel to the contact, but also there's vein that they are perpendicular, because when you have like structural contact, that they're open space, so sometimes they are follow the contact and sometimes they are perpendicular. So we try to find out the best fit for both, but the best thing is sometimes to drill the contact. We can miss, because if their vein is like this and you can drill ahead or behind, but then you drill those one. So we're going to have two sets of drilling to find those. There's a third one, which is barren. So there's more than two sets of quartz vein, but two of them are very high-grade zone in it.
And in the drilling that you've done at the Lynx Zone, in the presentation, you talk about going down to minus 700 meters. You said up until this year, you had only drilled down to 50 meters depth vertically, roughly. How far have you gone down in the 3,500 meters that you drilled this summer?
We have down about 300 meters, like in hole. So let's say, 45-degree holes, roughly 70% of the real thickness. So about a vertical depth of 200 meters. So the first 2 years, as you said, we have really, really nice defined the first 50 meters. Last year, we had few holes only from 50 to 100 meters. Now we have really secured the zone from 50 to 100 with many holes, and then we go up to 210. The deepest intercept so far was about like 2 grams over 5 meters at 210 meters. But it's all still, open at depth. But the thing is, you don't have to go right below Lynx. If you want to drill deeper, you have to drill Tiger. So when we found Tiger this summer, it's pretty exciting, because below Tiger, it will be the Lynx Zone that you might intercept deeper, roughly at 400 meters.
It's a parallel system.
There's many high-grade parallel system. We have what we call the high-grade shoot. So far, we have identified 3 of those. So when we drill hole number 2, which was the discovery hole, we come up with 5 grams over 50 meters, but in fact, we had 3 horseshoe. At the time, we didn't know that was horseshoe. Now, we proving up that those horseshoe that continuing up to about 700 meters along strike. But then if you hit them at surface, now we hit those at about 250 meters.
Now, I know I'm jumping ahead and we can't talk about mining yet, but famously, it's difficult to mine anything kind of above 20 degrees to kind of about 65, 70 degrees. You know, it's that 15 to 55 degrees, which are really difficult to mine.
Yeah.
And you've also got some big intercepts of 100 meters at 1 gram of gold. Do you kind of look at this and think, oh, we've got to target an open pit
this
resource
is for
here?
sure. And that confirming with those results that we have. So you're totally right. We got some holes with almost like 1.1 grams over 150 meters, many holes with 1 grams over 100 meters. So basically, you're right. Doing mining, it's difficult underground when it's 45 degrees. But when you're thinking about open pit, which is a lot less expensive, then the 45 degrees is the best because you will have almost no stripping ratio because you're going to follow the zone 45 degree. So this is what we have. And what we have to think as well, those high-grade shoot, they are between 5 to 20 meters, but they're going to be mine open pit anyway. So it's not, you don't really need some really consistent number. What you need is like continuity in the mineralization, and there's some zone will be waste, but then those high grade would be mine open pit as well. So this is the target, but the beauty of it, having those very, very high grade zone of 2, 3, 4 meters of 30, 40 grams, then that's going to be potentially also mineable with an underground mine. But it's really early, as you said. Now, what we have to proving up is building ounces, and with that new model, that is going to be updated during the Christmas time. Then we'll be able to proving up more gold, hopefully.
When I look at this geologically, I get excited. I think it all looks fantastic. But then I look at your share price, and I look at the market, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I know, but that's a good opportunity for you, Merlin, to get more Puma stock. But the reality of it, this is all the gold market is the same. The benefit of working in New Brunswick, this is what we call a low-cost exploration company because we're along the paved road. We're only 30 kilometers from town. So when we're talking about less than $200 Canadian a meter to drilling costs, it's really low. So also because there's about like 70,000 hectares of land that we hold, we don't always need to drill. So we can do discovery, bringing always new information into the models with very low cost exploration. So the key there is never stop, keep doing it. And I'm just happy for the people that they can acquire some share at 12, 13 cents as we are right now.
When you say you don't need drilling to make discoveries, you're referring to trenching, bulldozers, remote sensing, mapping. I mean, what do you mean specifically?
Exactly, trenching. Basically, what we do is real boots on ground, old-timer exploration. So we send geologists with an hammer, they find surface rock and boulder, and then we bring a backhoe and excavator. So we strip everything, potentially, and then we look the veins, we get the grab sample, and instead of drilling blind, because the drilling cost is really expensive compared to the stripping. So instead of just drilling, target what you don't see, with the stripping and trenching, you see those veins, that they carry gold, and then you just drill those high-grade veins. So instead of drilling maybe half of your program to locate the contact, then the contact is defined with the trenching, and then when you have the contact and the gold, then you just drill those high-grade zone.
When you coming back to geology, and I know it's dangerous to just talk about geology, but the contact you described between the volcanics and the sediments, that's the key contact. When you say you've got lots of parallel zones, is that because it's alternating sediments and volcanics, or because there's structural repetition?
That's the structural repetition, because at the beginning, it's early stage exploration. We only started working back in 2020. So, the concept and the knowledge of the zone is always like better and better. So we know there's a contact between the rhyolite and the sediment, but we don't think now that the rhyolite makes a big difference. I mean, the lithology itself, it's really a structural contact between two rock, hard rock and a soft rock. So those structural features are parallel over the major fault. There is a structural major fault, the Williams Brook mainstream, the same one as Newfound Gold that is follow, but within that fault, there's many parallel zones that it can be explored. So now we see that we just don't need to look the rhyolite. We can have gabbro and sediment, rhyolite and sediment. So any type of conduit between two rocks help, and then over the entire Bathurst camp, because we've been working there like 20 years, we know there's a nice structure, north 340-degree structure with the contact of those. That's where we have the pearl of chain. That's basically it.
So you're essentially, if I understand you correctly, you're looking for a rheological contrast. You're looking for a competency contrast between different rock types, because that is where you get the space creation.
Yes.
That allows the fluids to flow and the minerals to precipitate and dump out.
Exactly. So that's why when we are within about 50 meters on each side of those contact zone, favorable contact, that's where we have the more gold in it. But as well, within that contact, the fault, 340, makes where you have those high grade. So you can drill, like even during that drilling program, we get some 0.5 grams over, let's say, 100 meters, just because we're a little bit further away from the contact. Because when we drill, this is still exploration, so we were hoping that the contact was right there, but sometimes we just drill beside. So now, with that new interpretation, we're going to get closer from the intersection of the North 340 and that lithologic contact. That's where we have what we call kind of a pencil-shaped HighGrade shoot. This is, anyway, our model. If you do an interview, maybe 6 months from now, we're going to have another model because we're going to have understand more. This is geology.
And can you pick up those rheological contrasts using geophysical surveys underneath cover, or is it all boots on the ground?
Oh, no. We can see it with, we did some LiDAR survey and also the MAG survey. When we acquired the play, it was really nice because we had already that first discovery. So we did all brand new survey, VTEM survey, radiometric survey for the alteration, and the MAG. So the MAG survey helped us to delineate mainly those contact, but also those structural features. So we use that, and then when we're on site, the trenching, which is really great, when you strip, remove all the gravel, because there's really little, then you see those information and you take measurement. So I know that the market, the investor really like when we drill, but for the geologists and my technical team, they a lot prefer to strip and trench, because they have, instead of having a 2 inches hole, they have probably 100 meter wide hole along by 700 meters. And for me, on financial side, you know, if you compare trenching a month, it's $50,000. Drilling a month is about $300,000. So it's a lot better as well on the way that it's, as you said, it's a little bit harder to raise money these days.
Well, let's talk about money. How much money have you got?
I still have about $1 million in the treasury. So all the drilling costs is already paid. So everything is fine. And for sure, we're going to look always opportunities if there's some people that they talk to us. But we're all financed for the end of the year. Everything is fine. But as usual, like a junior company is, as long as you don't have mine, we're going to look for cash.
It's the junior resources space. Yeah, everybody's looking to raise capital. But you want to do that at a higher price, obviously. And the share price is stubbornly low and perhaps going down.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to get the share price up? What do you think is going to attract the attention of the market?
I think that, the market will turn by itself. I mean, it's nothing that we can do, Puma itself, to turn the market, because we do great job. Everything that we've done and said to people, the investor, during the previous private placement, we said we're going to drill to confirm the HighGrade, we're going to drill to find out the extension. So all the work that we have said that we're going to do, it has been done. And more than that, we have been really, really successful on it. So now we will go back to those investors that they have paid a little bit higher, and we're going to do a little bit like a smaller private placement, because we would like to avoid dilution. But the thing is to keep doing some news. I mean, drill result, metallurgical test, bulk sample, and then one day, like there's an investors, a major fund, or just the general market will turn. And because we're going to never stop working, then we might be the first one in line that the people will jump on it. That's a little bit the reason why we do those kind of interview, Merlin.
Yeah, and of course.
Yeah.
I've seen your news releases come past, and I see them. I register them.
Yeah.
But I don't stop and I don't read them really in detail until I have this conversation with you, and it might be the same with many people who are watching this.
Yeah.
They think, oh yeah, I had heard about Puma, but if you're not in front of people, they forget about you.
Yes, and you know what? The best thing happened to us is when people have the chance to visit the site. I know, like for European people, it doesn't make sense. But when we bring investor, fund manager, and broker on site, and they walk the rock, they see the stripping, they are really amazed. So one of the things is really be able to bring people on site, they see what it is, and then we just have to never give up. I mean, we've been there for the last 20 years. I mean, this is not the first, cycle that I experienced. The thing is, as long as you have great project, you have continuous news flow, then one day it's going to turn. Because, we've been raising money at 50 cents about 2 years ago. Since then, never stop us. I mean, we get great result, we get great recovery, and we're trading 13 cents. So, I mean, the general market, is in the ash can. So we follow a bit what it is in general.
Have you had any inbound telephone calls from investors or institutions or indeed from industry after your most recent Lynx drill results?
Not lately, but what happened was mainly during March break at the PDAC, the mining convention. We had about 5 major companies that they follow us. Some of them, it's already at their second time visiting the site. So I know that it's still early stage for them, but we have, as I said, 4 or 5 major companies that they look. There's major investor that they're looking, but they asking themselves when it's going to turn, because they want to get there at the lowest price as possible to do the biggest return. But yes, it's funny because every time we go somewhere, I said, I follow you, I see you. So we're not all well known. Now it just make something click to change the momentum.
Keep producing those drill results. I mean, they're good drill results. So I think that'll be key.
Yeah. And also what we try to do, we try to do something a little bit different because we have the chance to be right at surface. We're going to do a bulk sample. Also, what is really great is the recovery so far, the first initial test was only by gravity. So we try to proving up we can have a green gold mine. That way, no chemical, no flotation, no cyanide, surface really small footprint and generate money and cash for the shareholder. So we try to be a bit different. And if those recovery are confirmed by gravity only, that's help also on the cost, the capex, but mainly on the social acceptance of the entire project.
By the way, the 92% recovery of gravity, through gravity was pretty much the first thing I've written down here as my kind of notes on the as a reference point for Puma. But I was just thinking about what the market will want to see. And I think one of the things that I had in my head about Puma from last year was that continuity was the thing that you needed to establish. I had seen the HighGrade, particularly from that discovery hole and some of your grab samples. And I think perhaps what the market wants to see is continuity over hundreds of meters, possibly over kilometers, and with depth, and across those drill holes, which you're getting.
Yeah. So this is the big difference because at the beginning, exactly as you mentioned, Merlin, is at the beginning people thought, it's maybe the first 25 meters, that's it. And then the first 50 meters and that's it. So the goal of that 3,500 meters. So, it's a small program, only 24 holes, 3,500 meters. That's not a big investment. It's about $700,000 Canadian. And we have been able to proving up that it goes now to 200 meters. So we went from 50 meters to 200 meters. Those system, epizonal orogenic system, can go up to 800 meters deep. So we're going to keep doing it, but we don't want to put a hole at 700 meters where we don't have any clue what it is. So we're going to follow the zone. And this is exactly what we have been trying to do in the 2023 summer program with trenching, is proving up that it's not only 700 meters, we now know it's over 1.5 kilometers. So we have doubled the zone at surface. We have 4 times the zone at depth. We just keep working. And then that's going to be the threshold of a major shareholder to say, it's real now.
And when will you be able to get back to trenching along strike? When will you be able to target doubling, again? Is that a summer thing? Is that happens in the spring after the snow has melted?
Yes. On the surface work, it's funny because the global warming happening now help us because most of the time in previous year, October was the end of the surface work. So now we're still trenching right now. It's going to be over because the snow is now on ground. So we have maybe another week. But the beauty of it, we can drill 12 months a year. So during the winter time, we drill. So the next up will be drill surface up to Tiger, another 400 meters. And then during the fall, the summer, we're going to go back stripping again to confirm those out. But already we have drill target because I know that to proving up mineralization, we need the drill hole. It's going to be done within the winter time at surface and also at depth at length.
Next year, ideally, you'd get another rig in there. You'd kind of go woo, 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 and get the bulldozers and just go crazy. But that would cost money. I mean,
yeah.
So is the work program going to be dictated by how much money you can raise in Q1?
Yes, it's a little bit because, as I said earlier, we have the ability to manage the program according a little bit to the money. It's always great to have money to work, but also, I have a comment from investor that they want to have less dilution, and totally understandable. So there's always a mix about how many work you can do and how you manage dilution in your company. As a big investor myself, I'm also concerned about that. So I don't just raise money because there's appetite for raising more money. But I don't want to raise too much money at 12, 13 cents. So the beauty of it is always, like if there's a market, like when we raised $5 million at 50 cents, then we had a bigger drilling program. When we have a little bit less money available or decide to have a little bit less work money, then we can just concentrate on stripping and trenching. The thing is never stop because once you drill and trench and strip, when the money is available, then you have drill-ready targets. It's when you stop everything to avoid dilution, then you have to go back and you'll have lost momentum. That's a bit what happened last year because we said, we're going to probably raising money a little bit later. We wait. And then the news flow just came in July. So we cannot do that, and I don't want to do that this year, is to have continuous news flow. And to be honest with you, it doesn't have to always be the big blockbuster hole. I mean, we just need to get the investor informed that we keep working, that we advance. And some work, we can do some recovery tests that is not so expensive compared to drilling. But the thing is always de-risking the play.
And as you say, trenching is low cost.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Good. Well, go get them.
Okay. Now you just have to bring the sun, that's no melt, and then we're going to go back trenching again.
Yeah, great. Well, Marcel, thank you very much for the update, and good luck with everything. And I look forward to seeing the next few the next 6 drill holes. Are you going to put them out in one news release?
Depends because we get them out as they come in. So I as I said, I don't want to wait too long time because if I'm waiting all the end. Sometimes if it takes another 3 weeks, it's too long. So we might get out few of them. Depends how the lab is fast, basically.
Okay. Well, hopefully they'll all be out by the end of this year, and I look forward to seeing those.
They're going to be all out before the end of November. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well, I look forward to reading those, and good luck.
Thank you, Merlin, again. Always a pleasure.